Okay, all right. Hey guys, so welcome to our Dream Team Monday night Zoom. It is April 20th. It still blows my mind every time I think it's already like halfway, it's beyond halfway through April. Because I don't know, time is relative right now. So tonight's topic that I hope got you guys' attention is no longer watering people who don't want to grow. And so, Sandra's in the waiting room. Isn't this something? I have got to fix that for next time. So, okay, so based on that topic, actually, since Sandra's coming on, this is a good time to tell you. Every Monday, I don't always have an idea. Sometimes I wake up on Monday and I know exactly what I want to do, and then sometimes I'm not sure. And actually, Sandra reached out to me today and was like, hey, do you have your topic? Because if not, she had some ideas. Well, once I really started diving into her ideas, it kind of led me into my own process of what she was talking about. But basically, I want to talk about why or how we can fix the fact that we spend a lot of time working on other people when really we need to be working on ourselves. So case in point, based on that quote that, no longer watering people that don't want to grow. How many of you in here, you can just raise your hand or just nod, whatever, but how many of you in here have spent time more than 30 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks, trying to help somebody who just refused to do anything? They wanted to bitch and moan. They wanted to say that they had goals. They wanted to say that, they wanted to do all the things, but no matter what, they weren't doing it, right? We've all experienced that, I'm sure. And so what I want to talk about tonight is all that time that you're spending helping someone else that is not wanting to grow. You could be spending that time on you, right? But I think a lot of times we're so afraid to not help somebody because, it's the what if. Well, what if she quits? What if she tells people I'm mean because I didn't help her? What if my team doesn't get the volume this month because I didn't help? What if? I want you to think about you. Okay, you guys are all on the Zoom tonight. You read on Dream Team that we were having a Zoom. You clicked the button. You got on here. Some of you were on Brittany's Zoom and you left that to come to this one. I didn't come to your house. I didn't click the button for you. I didn't put a gun to your head. You did this all on your own, right? Last time you reached out to a customer, you did that all on your own. Do you follow me? If people want to do this business, they'll do it. If they want to learn, they'll be on Zooms. They could be on here right now like you guys are, or they could be watching this as a replay. I don't downplay the fact that we all have different lives and we all have to operate business at a different time. There's a reason I picked Monday nights at 7:30 for these Zooms, because it worked for me. Not because it worked for everybody on the team, but it worked for me. And so that's why I record them. And so that's why I'm all for helping and doing what I can when I can, but I'm not going to spin my wheels helping someone else because of the what if, when in reality, that what if she quits, what if I spent 30 minutes helping somebody who wanted to grow versus 30 minutes dragging somebody behind me? What if I spent 3 weeks focused for a half an hour every single morning on my own health versus 3 weeks trying to help somebody that just keeps dragging their feet and doesn't want to grow, right? You got to reframe your what if. So really, to backtrack, what Sandra sent me today, the quote was something like, if you know how much something is going to cost you, you make wiser decisions. And I think a lot of times we're weighing what we think is going to be the cost of something. So for example, when you're worried about this person and you've been trying and you want to help them so bad and they need it, and they've got kids and they've got bills and they need this so bad. You're so afraid of letting them down, or you're so afraid of losing them as a friend. You're so afraid of what you think that they need, but that fear has nothing to really do with them. It's your fear that's holding you back. It's your fear that's pushing you in that direction, because it's honestly easier to drag somebody. And I know this is going to sound weird. It's easier to drag somebody than it is to saddle up and ride with somebody who is killing it. So let me put this in perspective. During that stimulus bonus, Sandra, I'm going to use you as the example, okay? During that stimulus bonus, there were some people on the team that they didn't care. They weren't even trying for it. And then there was Sandra. And I mean, my phone, we had earbuds in, we were typing, we had all the things happening. Messenger was going off, text messages were happening. Half the time I'm surprised I said the right person's name, honestly. That's a lot of work. It's fun work. It was exciting, right? But it's a heck of a lot easier to be like, oh, so-and-so, they're trying so hard. I try to help them. I've sent them the Zoom link. I've sent them this. Whereas maybe you're really, truly afraid of the work that it takes to get up with somebody who's really pushing for the business. And I'm going to encourage you right now, let go of that fear and hook up with the people on your team that are working. And here's the kicker. If you have nobody on your team that's working, you're working. And that is who you need to hook up with. That is the person you need to put all your time and effort into. Every morning I reach for my phone. It's a horrible habit. I know it. I know it is. But every morning I reach for my phone. Sometimes I actually start responding to people and I have to put it down because I have to work on myself, right? So sometimes I force myself to get into the shower, or I force myself to go for a walk. I will force myself to do something where I can listen to a podcast and like work on myself before I dive in to do all the fixing of the problems and the helping of the people. Because if I don't take care of myself, if I don't push myself to do my reach outs first before I jump on people's group chats, then my business is going to sink. And if there's one thing I know every single day, every day of the week, I know I'm showing up and going to work. That is literally all I know. I have no idea if today's the day you're showing up. I don't know if today's the day that you're checking out. I don't know if today's the day you decided to unplug. I don't know if today is the day you have a huge thing going on at your day job. I have no idea. None of us know that about each other, right? On a day-to-day basis, none of us know. The only thing you know is when you get up, if you're showing up for work and what you're doing for your team, your part, your job, right? So I want you guys to think about that. I want you to think about perhaps it's been easier for you to be a little bit fearful and hang on to the people who, you know, maybe you love them. That's okay. They can be your friend. They can be your relative. They're always going to be your friend and relative, but they might not be a promoter on your team anymore. And that's okay. Let them go, right? Stop putting time and effort into them. Start putting time and effort into yourself, and then go find that person who might be under them that wants to work and go help them. Put all your time and energy into the people who actually wear you out. If you can lay your head down at night and be like, oh my God, she exhausted me today in a good way, then that's the person you want to be hanging out with. And if you don't have somebody outside of your circle to do that, then you need to lay your head down at night and be like, you know what? I wore myself out today. I sent out 10 more messages than I intended. I packed up 3 more trial packs than I intended. I did 6 more Facebook posts than I intended. You are your own machine. And here's, you know, people want to talk about attraction marketing a lot. And yes, part of attraction marketing is that you do these posts and you make people curious and blah, blah, blah. True attraction marketing is being who you are, and people are attracted to that. So the harder you work, the harder you put yourself out there, the more you do, whether it's embarrassing. I mean, you guys, I did a video, I think it was just last week, where I talked about trial packs. And oh my Lord, my hair was in a ponytail. My roots, I put a filter on it to try to disguise some of the silver because it was unreal. But I had to do it. I had to do a video for the day, right? And I sent it out, and lo and behold, I sold some trial packs from it. So my shiny silver hair, as much as I was like freaking out about it on the inside and thinking, oh, I should probably wait until tomorrow when I have a shower and I can curl my hair and do all the things, I just did it. You got to write down your plan for the day and do it. Your hair and makeup aren't perfect. Guess what? It's Facebook. Nobody's hair and makeup is perfect. Plus it's quarantine, so ain't nobody looking good right now. And tip, side note, completely side note, on the days you do have your hair and makeup done, do several videos, record it. You can always use that OneStream.live to make it look live the next day or the 3rd day or the 5th day. Change your shirt, make it look totally different. If you've taken the time to do your hair and makeup, monopolize on that, right? Especially those of you with kids who you're like, I only get to do my hair 1 day a week. Monopolize on that. All you got to do is use your phone or whatever you use to make your videos, record them like a hard copy to your device, And then a day later, 3 days later, 5 days later, you can go to onestream.live and you can actually make it go through Facebook as a live video. So it's pretty cool that you can look like you're always done, but you're really not. Of course, I didn't think of that day. I just did my silvery ponytail. So anyway, side note. All right, so let me backtrack here. So basically, I think what I'm talking about is the fear of letting people go. And I know it's a real life fear because I have it a lot too. There'll be somebody who I really thought was going to just be so amazing, and maybe they were amazing. You know, we've all had people come in and just tear it up. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is it. She's going to go 12K. She's amazing. She loves it. And then all of a sudden you realize, I haven't heard from her in like 4 or 5 days. And then you look on Facebook and there's nothing. Or worse, you look on Facebook and there's somebody else's product that she's talking about. Like, right? The weirdest stuff happens. And I think it's in that moment that we start to like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose her. This is scary. Maybe she's mad at me. You know, all the things go through your mind. When in reality, you just need to be like, you know what? I exposed her to it. I shared it with her. It's up to her what she does, or TJ, right? Her or TJ. I'm sorry. I always refer to girls, and then we've got sweet little TJ in our team here. But it's up to that person to do what they're going to do with it. And then you have to let that go. And so part of that is keeping your funnel so incredibly full of people that when one drops off, you can literally just wish them well and move on. And I think that's part of my problem most of the time is I don't have so many irons in the fire that I'm like, oh, drop that one, keep on going. And so that's what I work on every single day now, is to get so many irons in the fire. How many conversations can I have? Is it exhausting sometimes to have 30 plus conversations? Yeah, but how exhausting? I can actually wear pajamas and sit on the couch and do these conversations. So it's really not that exhausting, right? I can actually sit on the toilet and I can respond to people if need be. So as much as I'm like, oh my gosh, got all these conversations going, and some, you know, and I know we all do that. We're like, oh my gosh, it's so much going on. Well, good. You should have a lot going on. You literally should go to bed at night with your head halfway spinning and wondering if you referred to the person by the right name, because you talked to so many people today that you're not exactly sure if you did that right. That's an okay problem to have. That's amazing. I would love to go to bed every night and be like, I hope I said the right person's name because I'm talking to so many people. So don't let the fear of building your business and the fear of, can I handle enough conversations? Can I handle and having all these people on my team? Can I handle being the leader that I think they need? Here's the deal. If they've landed in your team, you are their leader. They came to you somehow. They were, you know, what is it? You know, God doesn't put people in your life by accident. Some of these people may come to you and they may challenge you from sun up till sundown until you finally say, okay, bye-bye. And some of them are going to come to you and literally be the light of your life. And you're going to wonder how you ever lived all these years without some of these people in your world. And that's just the way it goes. So don't hold yourself back because you're trying to take care of people who don't want to grow. Because if you truly want to grow your business, you got to take care of yourself first and foremost. Oh, Lisa Cook, is she? Oh, you're back in. I'm sorry, it just popped up over here. I'm letting the other Lisa Cook join, whatever. Oh, here she comes. There's the other Lisa Cook. Okay, we have 2 Lisa Cooks now. All right. So anyway, so don't spend the time watering people because you're worried that you have to have them. And you guys know what I mean. You have that where you're like, if I lose her, I'll lose my bonus. If I lose her, I'll lose my car. If I lose her, I won't make the trip. Okay, if you lose her, that's where she belongs anyway. That's where it was going to fall at some point in time, right? And you'll hear this a lot from people in all business, but especially in this business. They'll tell you the people who got you to 12K are not the people who are going to get you to 40K, are not the people who are going to get you to 80K. When I look back at our team that started 5 years ago, well, so every year that we've gone to conference, there's always there's 2 groups of people that go to conference, the people who go every year and have gone every year. And then there's people that go and then you never see them again. And I think we've done 4 conferences so far. So there's been 4 groups of people who were so gung-ho about their jobs with their company, their business, that they went all the way to wherever we went, whether it was New Orleans or Dallas or wherever. They went all the way there, spent the time, the money, the effort, and then you never saw them again. So that's okay. They were there when they were supposed to be there. They supported the business when they were supposed to support the business. We supported them in some way, shape, or form that we were supposed to help them with. And then we moved on to the next level. It doesn't mean we don't love them. It doesn't mean we don't still see them. It doesn't mean that they're not still a part of our lives, but we're not using them for our business anymore. We're building a different business. Every single day, your business is growing. People's lives change. I think Kayla said this morning, every 6 months, people's lives change. So if you talked to somebody 6 months ago and they weren't ready for Thrive, they might be ready now. But if you talked to someone 6 months ago and they were killing it at their Thrive business, they may not be killing it now. And that's okay. People will come, people will go, people will come back. We've had a huge surge of people coming back, customers coming back, promoters coming back. So again, back to my point, circling back, you don't know who's coming back or who's dropping off or what's going to happen. All you know is what you want, what you're willing to work for, and if you're the one getting out of bed every morning running your business. So it's okay to acknowledge that maybe you're a little bit scared, that, like, I don't know, let's just talk it out. Where's chat? I'm all confused with this new setup here. Okay, chat, Sandra Hill. I think it's me. I think with me, it's people who say, oh yeah, I want the info, I need the income. So you keep going back to help. Yeah, and that's the thing. But look at it this way, Sonia. People who truly need the income, they go apply for jobs. So you've offered them, it's just like, when people are like, I can't find a job, nobody's hiring. Oh, even now, people have the audacity to say no one's hiring. You can literally walk into Kroger and they'll hire you on the spot today. No questions asked. Throw a mask on and throw you out there. So if people truly want it, they will go for it. You're doing what you do. They know you're still the Thrive Girl. They know that you've offered it to them. They know that you've shared it with them. They know that if they really want it, they can come back to you. But there's probably 5 others that haven't talked to you yet about the fact that they need it. So that's why it's up to us to just keep reaching out to people and keep showing people how we live. And I'm not saying that the person who said that they need it might not come back in 6 months or 12 months or 3 years. Who knows, right? But it's one thing if you're doing like a follow-up reach out, like, you're like, okay, hey, I talked to you a few months ago. We talked about, I don't know, the VIP bonus, and you thought it was something good. Is that still something you're interested in? That's one thing. If you're going to do a reach out or a follow-up, that's cool. But if you're constantly spinning your wheels, trying to talk to them, trying to give them information, then that's sucking the life right out of you that you could be putting into yourself. So there's always the difference between continuing to reach out and following up with people, but there's also that, you know the difference when you can tell you're like pulling people and pulling people and pulling people versus this is what I have. If this is still your goal, I can totally help you with it. And then you move on with that. But so I want you to think about, so I think with me, Sherry says, I think with me, I'm scared to ask them to be on my team. I'm not sure what to say. Honestly, I have never said to somebody, do you want to be on my team? I've just never said that sentence. Typically, for me, I always start out with people like, what are your current health goals? And then my goal is to get them to feel good with Thrive. Then that's when I kind of start talking to them about, who do you know that could benefit from this? Do you have any other friends that have trouble sleeping? Did you, whatever their problem was? Do you know anybody else that was struggling with weight issues or sleeping or headaches or whatever? And then that always brings me into, with the 2 people, now we can get yours for free. And honestly, and you guys, I feel this way still to this very day. When I get my credits and I order my Thrive for free, there's just a little bit of me inside that's just super giddy that it's still free and it's fun. And so I basically try to start with people, what's wrong? How can I help fix it? You personally. Now that we've got you feeling great, who else do you know that needs this, that you could help? Because now everybody wants to be a helper, right? So now your customer becomes the helper. That leads to the refer to, or the refer 6, which at that moment is a no-brainer to be like, let's hit promoter because not only are you going to get it for free, blah, blah, blah. I can't think of anybody that's ever, Samantha Cox. Samantha Cox came to my house. This is right. This is how we actually met. She thrived, loved it, wanted to sell it, said, can I come to your house? Will you show me how to do it? I didn't even know how to do it yet, really. So I showed her on my computer the cloud. That's legit how we met. So that's the closest thing to like a join my team I think I've ever had. Now, I will say, if you feel like that is the conversation that you need to have with people, then I would encourage you to go to Kayla Fox's YouTube and go through some of her videos, or even Courtney Glazer if you can handle some of the F-bombs, because they do have the upfront conversations with people. You know, hey, are you looking for money? Here's how much money I make. Can't guarantee you're going to make it, but if this is what you need, let's do this. I will also tell you that both of those girls will say, here's the setup. Here's what we've taught you. Here's what we're telling you to do. Now go do it. If you do it, we'll keep working together. If you don't, I've already moved on. So they're both very cut and dry business, whereas I kind of go, I think it's because of my day job. I just go about more like, what's not well with you? How can we fix that? And then we try to grow a business from there. So I will admit that's not my strong suit either, of just being like, hey, join my team. Now I forgot. Oh, so I want you guys to fill up in the chat. This is what I was going to talk about a minute ago. And oh, Ricky's trying to come in. What do you think you're afraid of? Like, don't type just yet. When you think of going to so here you are now, this is your rank you are now. Okay. Here's your next rank. What are you afraid of? Like, let's openly talk about this. Are you afraid of the workload? Are you afraid of, like when I say workload, like, so if you go from 12K to 40K, you're obviously going to have a bigger team. So you're going to have more chats. You're going to have more responsibilities as far as like having like a team. Are you afraid of like that workload? Are you afraid of tax issues? Some people are actually afraid to make more money. That's a conversation I have had a couple of times with people. It's odd, but hey, some people are a little weird about making money. You know, what are you afraid of? Laura, I don't want the attention. Okay, what kind of attention do you think you're going to get when you hit 200K? Because you're not going to stand on stage this year. This is the year to do it. This is your year, Laura. Finally, somebody wins at Corona. Laura wins. You know what? I will say, I think that we come from a long line of very public 200K leaders. Like if you look at our line, we've got Maria, Susan, Lindsay, Brittany. Like they're very public. There are so many 200Ks. I think it was the last big training we had on that Saturday when there was like the hour longs. There were so many 200Ks on there talking that I never even heard of. And as they were talking, I would Facebook their name. They've been 200Ks for years. So I don't think that you have to associate your rank advancement with attention, because I think it's however you want to do it. You can have attention if you want it, but you don't have to either. I mean, I'll shout it out, obviously, but then I'll be quiet. But yeah, I wouldn't let that hold you back, because I think there are a lot of people who have hit. I mean, there are people that stand on the millionaire stage and I've never heard their name, never seen it in a Thriving magazine, never seen it in a, you know, and then there are some people who are barely 200K and they're like, I want to be in the documentary series, you know, so everybody's a little bit different. Sonia says, being a good leader and maintaining the rank. Okay, you're afraid of maintaining the rank. Well, let me be honest with you right now. Nobody holds their rank forever, over and over and over. Like we have been, as a team, we basically went from 12K to 80K, then we went to 40K, then we went to 80K, 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 40K, 80K, 40K, 40K, 80K. You're going to be all over the board, and that's okay. You cannot talk to possibly Maria, but even from Susan on down, they will all tell you they have not all been 200Ks this entire time. They will lose their rank. Your little rank badge, this sounds bad. Your little rank badge means nothing to anybody outside of Lavelle. People outside of Lavelle have no clue what it means. People inside Lavelle know that that means that's the highest rank you've ever been. So as a team right now, we're actually falling closer to the 60, 65 mark on average, but my little badge says 80 because that's the highest rank I've been. Nobody outside of these walls even cares about that number, right? Or what that means. So definitely don't worry about losing your rank. And again, being a good leader, you are who you are, right? The people that are attracted to you are going to be attracted to you anyway, and they're going to be attracted to your style. So I don't think that you ever, you know, again, look at all the leaders I just named off. They are incredibly different. They are so very different. I mean, Susan and Lindsay could not be more opposites if they tried. Like, they couldn't. I mean, Lindsay and Brittany, night and day, right? So don't worry about what kind of leader you think somebody else is. The best thing to do is invest in yourself, right? You know, do the self-development books, do the time, take time to learn, take time to like think about, hey, this is how I handle this situation. How would I handle it now, knowing what I know? And honestly, people will come to that. Laura says, I'm my dad's daughter. Yes, Gilbert was not a fan of attention, but he'd be a big fan of you being a 200K. Sandra says, same as Sonia. Yeah, and Sandra, and I know, and Sandra very openly struggles with this, worrying about being a good leader. And I want you all to look at her right now and be like, WTF, you are an amazing leader. She's amazing. She just doesn't have the confidence in herself that we all have in her. And that's okay, because we all have that confidence for you. So when you don't feel like it, just know it's just like, we look like the Brady Bunch literally right now. And you're the one in the middle. So your Brady Bunch crew knows that you're an amazing leader. And when you're feeling like maybe you're not, that's okay. You guys, I don't wake up every day and think, oh, this is amazing. I wake up every day and think I have an amazing team. But I sure don't wake up every day and think, gosh, I did great today. Nope. But I do my best. I will tell you that. I am grateful for our team, and I will do my best for the team every day. Is my best always the greatest that could have happened? Maybe not. But I always make sure I do my best. Sherry says, maintaining the rank. We talked about that. Do not worry about that. Courtney says, I ain't afraid of nothing and I'm running. This girl is all gas, no brakes, and I flipping love it. She's another one that has the phone dinging and ringing and the binging and all that stuff. And I love putting my head down at night. Courtney said, yeah, 65. Oh, please. 65K is flipping nuts. And I wanted to, we only have a couple minutes left. We have 10 days left in the month. And so I looked back at our first 10 days just to give you guys an idea. You guys as a team did over $22,000 in the first 10 days. So when you're like, oh, there's only 10 days left, you got 10 days left. I don't care what your goal is. So in the first 10 days, we had basically 2 12Ks. And that's not really how the numbers work, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot in the first 10 days. So let's make the last 10 days just as good. You know, like Courtney says, all gas, no brakes. Like there's literally no reason to stop. The only thing that could stop you at this point would be you. This Saturday, they've already said they have a new product coming out. They have a compensation change addition. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's going to be like a one-time bonus that we're going to chase. I don't know if it's a new rank they're adding. I don't know. But I legit have no idea. They don't call me about these things. I have no idea what's happening. And then they said there's a huge announcement. So, I mean, you guys know how they are. If you've been around here more than 6 months, you know how they are. They love to build it up. They love to make it big. I am sure they're devastated that this isn't happening on a big stage someplace, but I love the fact that they're still moving forward with something for all of us. And, you know, Drew and Paul just did some trainings last month. And so they're, you know, I mean, Jason's sitting in Cabo on his patio right now on a Zoom. So here's my point. He doesn't have to. He's set for life. He could be like, you know what? They're fine. Let him learn from somebody else. But that's not how they are. They're in this to win this. When the whole thing happened with coronavirus, I can guarantee you Jason is the person who was like, we could probably work on something to help fix this. And that's where Recharge came from. So just know that they are constantly thinking about their business, and having a debt-free business means they have room to play. They can keep building no matter what's going on around them. And I've said this from the get-go, you guys, you're in health and wellness. So many companies are scrambling to be health and wellness, to change everything they have so they can get into health and wellness, and you're already there and you've been there from day one. So you're in the right place at the right time, as possibly ambulance chasing as that might sound to some of you. People are concerned about their health for literally the first time in history. People are no longer, I mean, people are still weird about weight and all this stuff and pant size, but people truly are starting to understand that their immune system and their overall health is so important. So, like I said, you have their attention. Like, this is your time. This is your time to shine, and make it about them. Like, you know, what are they worried about? Almost all of my reach outs, like I said, I mean, it's an amazing amount of conversations. But basically just, you know, how are you handling everything that's going on? Are your kids home? Are you able to work? Just ask questions. People want to talk. And remember, if they are working, they're stressed out and you have something that can help them. If they're not working, they're stressed out and you have something that can help them. So either direction, you've got something. You know, if someone's working, they might actually be a candidate for all 3 steps plus something, sculpt, rest, whatever. If somebody's not working, they might just be a candidate right now for something as simple as blast or balance. I actually had a girl who thrived with me for years, and she was always like partsy peasy. And she reached out to me last week and she was like, I can't poo. I'm a nervous wreck. My life, you know, she's fine. Her family's fine, but you know, her job, the world's all falling around. She's like, I can't, things aren't coming out right. So I put some shakes on the front porch because she said she had capsules and DFT left. And I gave her some balance and I told her just use 1 a night. And 3 days later, I mean, I checked on her every night and she was like, I feel better. Things are back to normal by like day 3 or whatever. And she went in all on her own like a big girl and placed herself in order for shakes and balance to make up the difference for what she had. So, and again, that is somebody who thrived like 3 years ago. So actually the capsules and DFT she has probably old, but it worked. But just know, even the people who are super stressed and unemployed, because that's where she fell, they still need you. They literally need what you have. So anyway, I got totally off point. My whole thing was stop watering people who don't want to grow, because here's the thing. And this is me being a gardener. If I've got 2 plants in the garden and one is really, you know, strong and it's trying to put on some blooms and the other one is like, meh. If I keep giving all the water to the crappy one that's half dead already and I don't pay attention to the strong one, they're both going to die. And here's the kicker. You're the strong one. You're on the Zoom. You're in your business. So if you have water and you only have so much water, make sure you drink it first and then share with your team. All right? Okay. You guys are the best. Sorry I screwed up the whole thing on the how to get into the Zoom, but we all finally made it together. And I'm going to guess that Brittany is done, but Sandra and Sherry have a Zoom coming up. And then Susan has a Zoom coming up. And then maybe a live. It's a big night. It's a big Monday night. But you don't have to do all those. I'd rather you do reach out. So, except for Sandra and Sherry, they have to do theirs. All right. So, see you guys later. Bye.